spacing on what exactly happened again.
Hey, what's up, folks? Creepy Black Dude, you know who it is. We have another session of D&D with the crew. We have the whole crew, so we're gonna continue the story from last time. If you remember so far, what has happened is we ended up in this town, Niflheim, and we ended up going to the Golden Moose. We actually ended up getting sort of arrested off a train, ended up at Niflheim, ended up in jail. We were trying to explain what had happened on the train because we fought some guys on the train, and then some random person came and bailed us out, just paid for our bail and convinced the guards to let us go. He asked us to meet him at the Golden Moose, which is a bar or inn or pub or tavern. We went to the Golden Moose. He's the proprietor of that place. He asked us to look into his son. His son is Davide, who was a name we had heard before. And he asked us to figure out whether his son was alive and kind of what was going on. So we went to Davide's apartment, which you can see right there. We searched for some things. We found some interesting things. And we also found out where to look for Davide next. Davide is in a different town in the world. But we're gonna try and, before we actually go, we're probably gonna go back to the Golden Moose to tell Cornelius what we found, and we're probably gonna stock up on supplies, and who knows, maybe we'll end up in some shenanigans. That's where we are right now. And so with me I have, of course, Matt, who is Kenny Laggins. We have Jeff and Jay, and then we have our illustrious DM, Eric, and then me, Creepy. So, let's get into this. Eric, go ahead.
Cool. So, so we left off, and I think you guys had decided that you guys wanted to head back to the Golden Moose to try and talk to Cornelius to kind of let him know what it is you guys had discovered. So you guys make your way back to the Golden Moose and find yourselves in Cornelius's office. So what do you guys want to tell him?
Hey, thanks for that subscription, Jeff.
So I'll be like, we found some stuff relating to the Cult of the Light, and it seems like he's been trying to infiltrate their ranks. We found some robes, we found a letter that's talking about it, and it seems his operation is in OS, and I think we'll be heading there.
How did you find this out? This is shocking. I've known Davide his whole life. I would have never suspected him in such foul play.
Sometimes you hide things from your parents.
Yes, I suppose we all hide things. Well, where is it that you will be going?
Next point is a west, but I think we're going to gather ourselves here for a little.
He said, yes, that is the smart thing to do. Well, allow me to do what I can to help you on your travels. I can either help you arrange supplies, help you with the travel, or just give you some coin to try and make your venture there easier. Is there a preference in which you would like?
I think an arrangement of travel might be our best bet right now. Perhaps a round trip, way to come back and reinform you. So fare for there and back.
Yes. Would you prefer to travel by train or by cart? Obviously, the troubles you saw on the train, I don't know if you wish to venture back that way, or you can travel by cart if you'd like. Obviously, cart will take you substantially longer to get to your destination, but it may, in fact, be safer.
It's true. They were on the train. I'm curious if they are worried about being caught again on the train as well, though. Do you have word of the prisoner? The other man that was a...
I do not. Which man is it that you speak of?
He was the man disguised as a god. He was part of the cult.
I broke his leg.
Oh, I do not have I do not have any word on his whereabouts or what the police or law enforcement did with him. It was not my main concern. However, if you wish, you can go and speak with the chief of police to see what information you can obtain about what they did with him.
Very well, very well. And perhaps, would it be possible for us to also get a little coin to supply up before we head out?
I can maybe give you a little, but the arrangement of travel will be quite expensive for the four of you, both to West and back, unless you're willing to forego some of the luxuries of travel.
I'm curious then if, perhaps beyond that, we could have something of your signature that would keep us more out of trouble from the law if we happen to find ourselves in a sticky situation again.
He kind of chuckles at you and says, "I am flattered to think you think my prowess goes beyond these city gates, but I can ensure you find no trouble here in Niflheim. But as for elsewhere, I cannot guarantee much."
All right, fair enough. Well, we're going to go out and gather supplies that we can, and we'll return shortly after, and I assume you'll have our arrangements.
Yes, I assume this means you will be traveling by train. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I shall have the arrangements prepared, and just let me know. So you know, it is approximately 5 o'clock. So the next train out will not be until tomorrow in the morning. So I will also arrange for you to stay here in the Golden Moose for the night. Just know we shut our doors for stay at midnight, so please be sure to be back by then. Other than that, you may enjoy the sights of our lovely town, and I wish you good venture on your tidings.
Thank you, Cornelius. We'll
Yes.
see you this evening.
We will see you. Thank you very much, and good luck. Okay. So Cornelius pretty much tells you that he's going to go ahead and get you guys all set up and arranged with travel, also with staying for the night, so you guys can have a good rest before you go back on your travels for the day. It is about 5 o'clock ish. Stores are only going to be open for about another hour or two. Come nightfall, most everything is going to close, just as that's when usually most people start causing trouble. So there are a couple of places obviously you guys can go. There's a general store, there's an alchemy store, there's a blacksmith and armor if you want to try and go there, or you can also go to the town square and see if there's any of the smaller merchants that might have things to buy. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, I know at some point I want to venture off, probably away from everyone else, and go get some thieves' tools.
Okay.
It's a more unsavory thing to try and find. So I'm trying to keep them from seeing. I know Defo is probably going to frown upon something.
Well, we must do what we can to make progress and uncover the mystery of everything that's going on here. I'll bite my tongue.
Okay. So, do you guys want to start off in the town square, or do you guys want to start off in a store or something?
Well, I don't know. Do you guys want to go check on that prisoner and see if the captain has anything figured out
Yes.
about him, or?
Let's go find a little more info about him. His whereabouts, what's going on, etc.
Okay. So the law enforcement agency is going to be over here next to these barracks. So as you guys kind of trolley along through the city, trying to make your way into the police or the law enforcement section, you guys do notice a lot of different things. You see that there's a lot of commotion throughout the city. You see a lot of people in just casual attire. This is not a very wealthy city. It's very much a blue collar working. Most people that live here appear to work in the mines. That is what the city is known for. Are the several different deposits. Since it's nestled right into the crevice of the mountain, all the different natural raw materials are abundant in this town, just outside of it as well as within it. So you see a lot of things that cater to the mine industry, all different sorts when it comes to copper, iron, gold, everything like that is able to be mined from the mountains. You also notice that the town right now is primarily made up of women. Seems as though most of the men are the ones that work within the mines, but all the shops and everything during the day are run and managed by the different women that live within the town. So you guys are able to make it to I would say that as you guys are walking through, you probably go by the town square and see that it's a bustling marketplace with a large number of people coming and going, purchasing goods, selling goods. Everything's really small. Nothing major, big. Nothing major is being sold there. Some of it's just nicks and knacks and other random goods, but nothing that makes it seem like there's a lot going on. It's not like the market day where everyone brings everything out. It seems more of just a standard shop day. So you guys head over to the corner where the law enforcements are. And you aren't able to go directly into the barracks. That's where they hold everything. But in one of the outer buildings, they have essentially the office space where you can go and inquire on different people that are being held, or on anything in general if you need to file a claim or anything like that. So you guys go in and you guys meet a clerk at the front, and he sees you, kind of beckons you to the clerk desk that he's at, and he says, he tells you to state your business.
Anyone else want to go?
Anybody gonna speak, or you just gonna stand there like bumps on a log?
We are here to. We were wondering if we could visit with one of your prisoners.
Nope, that's strictly forbidden. Anyone that's been arrested and arraigned can only be spoken to by their legal counsel. I don't think you or legal counsel would you be?
I look back at my compatriots, kind of like with a look that's like, should we say we are?
I shrug.
I step forward and kind of roll my shoulders back and kind of look down my nose at the clerk a little bit, kind of snidely. Like, yes, of course, with his legal counsel. Why are you trying to detain me from seeing my client?
Well,
I'd like to see him right away.
Yes. You have your papers then, yes?
Papers? Oh, hold on. And I kind of turn back towards the group, and I give him a look of shit. And I kind of rifle in my pack a little bit to see if I have some sort of documents I could procure from him, and then I make sure my signet ring is also very visible as I spin back around, and I kind of move forward, place my hands on like his desk, just at the edge of it, and I lean forward and like, listen, those my papers that you speak of, I was in a rush to get over here. Like I've been booked for multiple appointments today, and I'm running a little late. And I ding-donged it up a little bit, and I left my papers at my desk. If you'd be so kind, and I just kind of make sure that my hand is very visible. My signet ring is just like glaringly obvious. And also, I kind of turn my hip just a touch. You can see that there's just like a sack of coin just kind of dangling there as well. I'm just like, listen, let's make this work.
So what are you gonna try and do to? Are you gonna? Is this a persuasion, or are you trying to
It'll be-
bribe him?
It's be somewhat deception, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Okay. All right. So then let's go ahead and do a deception check. What are you doing, dang? Go away. Thank you, random advertisement in the corner of my screen.
That did not work.
Nope. He sees what you're getting at. I think you think you're doing it very slyly, but I think really you're jangling your armor a lot. So it's just making a lot of noise, and it just kind of comes off as a little shaky. He looks down and he clearly sees your signet ring, which tells him that you're definitely of lineage, and he can tell that you're a paladin, trained in Civita, but he also sees that the piece of paper you're holding out isn't anything of merit. It's if there is a random thing that you grabbed out of your bag and it has something on it, what would it say? Like absolutely nothing normal, but what does it say? Because I would make something up, but I think it'd be funnier if you just said.
I think honestly, I think it's just a recipe for like some Sword Coast like sausage.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I was like,
It's
it's actually just a list of ingredients.
Yeah.
That looks like it could have been a list of meetings. But he looks down in it and says, I'm sorry, sir, but is blood sausage I just realized that my accent changed completely on that. I'm just gonna go with it. Is blood sausage a client of yours?
I take a step back with a gasp. How dare you, sir? Also, do the people of this town speak in different dialects that morph and transform at any given time? That's very interesting. I'll have to look into that later. But first of all, how dare you? How dare you question me? I need to talk to my client immediately. I slam my fist on the table. And I get a little more rowdy at this point. And I I told you, I don't have the proper papers with me because I was in a hurry. I had to leave the office in a rush because I was double booked. I was running late. And here you are giving me a bunch of malarkey, trying to hold me up from seeing my client. I just need to give him his legal rights and legalese. Listen, you're being a bit of a horse's ass right now, and I don't like it. I'd like to go see my client. I slam my fist on the table again.
As you're going through this little diatribe, a second officer comes up, and as you finish, says, "I'm sorry, sir, but what seems to be the problem here?"
I'll tell you what the problem is. Your man here, and I'm gonna gesture to the clerk. He's holding up my client's right to representation, and I am that representation. I was running a little late. Listen. I know. I don't have the proper paperwork. I know, and that's a little off for a lawyer such as myself, who would normally have his paperwork because I'm a good boy. I would normally have that sort of thing, but I was in a rush. And yes, I have a recipe for blood sausage, but that's just something I have on me at all times. Listen, I love sausage. That's besides the point. I need to go see my client. Can you help me out?
Sir, what is your client's name? I'll see if he's here.
Sweat starts to trickle down my brow. And I kind of do this, I kind of, behind my back, I kind of, gesture with my fingers, with my index finger, kind of back, what's the fucking name? I don't remember. Do we know? And I kind of glance back to my compatriots.
I just shake my head. We didn't get a name before we broke his leg.
Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I was not given his name. I do know that the poor chap had his legs broken by some sort of monster while he was being interrogated. I do know that much. But as far as his name, I was not given it. I was just told I needed to come here towards the barracks to make sure I was able to visit with my client. And I'd like to do that as soon as possible.
He says that's not uncommon. I'm sorry, sir. Our hands are tied. If you can't give us his name, which I understand, it happens. Sometimes you're just summoned. But if you can't provide us with the proper papers, then I can't allow you to see anyone without proper authorization. If you're able to provide us with some papers, then you're more than welcome to see your client. But until then, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do to help you speak with him. But as soon as you're back and you can present us with those proper papers, then you're more than welcome to speak with him.
Well, I hope it feels great when there's a miscarriage of justice and it's on your head. I just sort of step back with just a offended and kind of step back into the circle of my adventuring. And I kind of lean close. What are we doing here? Like, what's the game?
I don't know. I don't think we can get in to see. Not through legal means. But it's good to know that he's still here. That is my main concern, that he has not escaped.
Okay.
And perhaps
then let us
the
leave.
fact that...
What were you going to say? Sorry.
It's good to know that he hasn't gotten free, and he hasn't released our names or identities yet to his...
Yes, let us go. I do not think we will have more business here.
So I guess at this point we'd want to bounce and go resupply, I guess. But as we leave, I kind of look back at the clerk and his officer, his compatriot. I yell over my shoulder. I'll see you in court for this. I'll have you know I'll have your heads and your badges. Good day.
I kind of grab his arm and start acting like I'm dragging him along.
Good day, sir.
Kenny lets go of his arm. He keeps walking and and Jessica's like, wait, no, I'm supposed to. He puts his hand back in Kenny's arm just to be like dragged away. Good day.
And then I just poke my head in one more time. And you know what? This recipe for blood sausage is so good, I was willing to share it when I made it, but I'm not going to now. And you're just jerks. And then
as you're walking out, you can see the two clerks are talking to each other, saying, it's like just another one of these guys, just another one of these ambulance chasing attorneys. Okay, so you aren't able to speak to the potential cultist that was dressed up as an officer. He's still being detained, as far as you know. So you guys can try and go get those papers if you can find someone that would be willing to forge a writ of attorney. If not, that's fine. If you do, go for it. All in all, that took you about an hour to get down there, have this argument, and then leave. So you're looking at about 6 o'clock. So some of the stores are starting to close down. The sun's starting to get low. So where do you guys want to go in terms of your resupply?
I'm going to... Did we pass by a place that looked like it might sell potions?
Yes. It depends on what type of potions you're looking for.
Just a regular, simple potion of healing.
Okay, then yeah. So then you saw as you were walking through. So in the market square again, that's more of the smaller shops. As you guys were traversing, you saw that here there was in the corner there was a store called Bailey's and Stoley's, and it seemed to be a general store.
Okay, I'm going to suggest to the party that I think I saw a general store that may sell potions and other simple provisions, common provisions, and I would like to go visit that before they close. So I was wondering if they would go with me, because otherwise I'm going there by myself.
Do they sell alcohol?
We can find out.
Yeah, it is a general store, so any general goods, single perishables, basic potions, yes.
I'm good. I'm gonna break off and go check for instrument shop. I will get back with you guys.
Okay. Where do we meet? Back at the Golden Moose?
Yeah, we'll meet at the Golden Moose.
Okay.
We'll have a drink and get some food, and
in
we
an
find
hour.
anything else we want.
In an hour.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So I'm going to the store. Who's going with me?
I'll accompany you.
Okay. Also, do I? Okay. So yeah, go ahead. While you accompany me, I'm going to. I already know Kenny's name. You may have told me your name, but I'm not sure if we ever got that far. So on the way, I'm going to ask your names. I'm pretty sure you said it, but I'm gonna ask it again.
You're talking about like everyone that you're with, the party's names?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going on this adventure and you don't even know who you're going out on.
Exactly.
Just
It
goes
happens.
with
You'd
it,
be
man.
surprised how often that happens. It never happens. So I'd be surprised actually that it does. Anyways, yes, I'm asking your names again.
Okay. So we'll start with the larger group, and then Kenny will do yours. So,
Yeah.
So the main group breaks off and starts to head towards Bailey's and Stoley's, which is just on the corner of the market space. As you're walking through, you can see people starting to wrap up shop. You see an armorist that's finishing up, trying to wean down their forge, and then you see a shop with lots of flowers, as well as the sign of a giant beaker above the storefront. And then you arrive at Bailey's and Stoley's, and you are met by a dwarven woman and a gnomish man. And they say, no accents, because I apparently am going to be inconsistent on it. They say, welcome to Bailey's and Stoley's. And I just lied, and I'm just doing an accent.
It's fine. Give it your best shot, my dude.
Purveyors of fine goods and of the occasional powerful potion. What can we get for you today?
Well, actually, I am looking for just potions. Actually, yes, potions.
Ah, okay. Is there a particular potion you're looking for?
Just a regular potion of healing.
Ah, would minor healing or major healing?
How much is minor healing?
A minor healing is 10 silver pieces or 2 gold. A major healing is 5.
Gold? I will take.
Yes, 5 gold.
I will take one of each.
Ah, okay. Oh, yes. May interest you in some other fine remedies. Say, for example, this fine, delicious remedy of everlasting lungs. This helps you at any time where you would be, needing to hold a long air of breath, or if you ever have your the wind taken from you. Oh yes, okay. That's going to be 2 gold pieces for the potion of everlasting breath.
Do you also have alcohol?
Yes. We have strong alcohol. We have mead. We have beer. We have wine. What is your preference?
Give me the strong stuff.
Strong stuff. Ooh, okay. This is my own batch. We call it Stolichnaya. It is made of potato.
Excellent.
Why does he not have a Russian accent?
Liquor here.
Don't question it.
Suddenly,
I'm from Russia.
When you said it was Stoley's and Bailey's, I was like, oh no.
In fact, actually, the gnome does have a Russian accent, but you don't want me to do that Russian accent.
Classic
Yeah.
Russian-Irish pair.
I think we do.
I think I want to hear it.
Yeah, I do want to hear this, actually.
I don't even know. You're gonna make me laugh, and I'm not even gonna remember how to do a Russian accent.
Hey, you can do
You.
Yeah, you want no, hold on.
You want stolies?
You want the Stoli's Naya? Yes. It is the stronger of all alcohol, the strongest. It is made of the finest potato in the land, and will have a very, very light hint of elderberry. It's very nice, very clean. You eat, you drink. Here, have some caviar. Yeah. Scrapes off a little bit of caviar from his personal storage, and then hands you a shot of vodka, and then offers you to take a drink.
I'll take the shot.
No caviar though.
No, I'll take it all.
Okay.
I'll eat it all if he's offering it.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the Stolichnaya?
Bottle is 1 gold.
Okay, I want to get the 2 bottles and then the potion that they talked to me about, and then whatever food they have that I can get for like another 2.
And then just random assortment of foods.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you want how much? That's going to be substantial. Food is going to be substantially cheaper. So that's only going to be a couple of silver pieces. So did you want to get like 1 gold's worth of food, or?
Yeah, I'll do a gold's worth of food.
Okay. That's going to be like some dried meat. It's going to be some dried fruit. Some fresh.
charcuterie.
What's that?
board. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be jerky. It'll be jerky, and then like salted pork, things like that. So non-perishable meats, but nothing raw, if you will.
Cool.
Okay. Make sure you guys are writing down what you're buying, because I just
Mhm.
Yeah, I was about to.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
so
it.
you
On,
have-
I got it on D&D Beyond. My 2 potions.
okay, cool.
It's
Eventually, I'll do a D&D Beyond.
Shopkeeps. Sorry,
Yes!
Stoli, and I assume is this one of you is Stoli,
Yes,
and one of you
Stoli. This is
Ah,
Bailey, but Stoli, yeah.
is great. You said you had healing potions, yes?
Yes, we
Um,
have potions of minor and major healing. I don't know why you guys are making me fucking do this.
because it's awesome. It's incredible.
It's horrible.
I must say your accent is wonderful. I love it. But I think I'll actually. How much are the major healing potions?
George, what did I say? It's
Five.
5 pieces. Yeah.
5 gold pieces.
Hey, what was that potion called that you gave me?
Everlasting lungs.
Is it like
What?
water breathing?
It's anything that requires you to hold your breath for a very long time or regain breath if you've lost it. So if you're going underwater, or if you're in a noxious area and you need to hold your breath, or if you've been staggered and you take a long fall, you can take it and it'll help you catch your breath on the spot.
If you're on Roll20, not Roll20. If you're on D&D Beyond trying to do something, I think
There's a potion section you can check.
yeah, you could. There's a potion. I'm not sure if that's
That's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing.
Oh,
but,
okay,
but you
gotcha.
can. I would just put like potion of water breathing, and then make a note
Yeah.
that it can also be used for like noxious gases and things.
So
Cool. Thanks.
I'll take a couple of those major healing potions.
Okay.
And I actually do have I do wonder if you have something along the lines, like something that will make you stronger.
Ooh, yes. You're talking about a potion of giant strength, yes?
Correct.
Would you prefer fire giant or ice giant?
Ice.
Ooh, excellent choice. That has a minty aftertaste. That is a little bit on the expensive side. It is closer, running to 12 to 15 gold, depending on the exact quantity you would like.
It's fine. Put
Ooh,
it on.
oh, yes. Can I mark you down for 2?
Two's fine.
Oh, yes, excellent. Oh, thank you very much. Anything else I can help with you, fellas?
I think that'll be fine. At least for me. I don't know. about
I
the
am
rest.
also all right.
If there's anything else you would like, we have plenty of goods. We have tinder boxes, we have bedrolls, we have ropes. You seem to be the adventuring lad, so if you ever need anything, backpacks, basic goods, we have
Do
it
we
all.
have any of this stuff already?
Yeah, you should. Most people do have it.
You have
Oh,
basic
yeah,
like
yeah,
bedroll
yeah.
stuff like that. It's a matter of
Okay,
if you
yeah,
want
yeah,
more.
let's do
pack or
this.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not. It's not crucial. It's more like if you wanted to, like, if you want to buy rope and nobody has rope in their inventory, you can buy it.
Right.
I got hemp rope, man. Being environmentally friendly over here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nice.
Can I interest anyone in some board games? You don't want to get bored in your travels, whether it's by cart or by train. And we have some of the best games in town.
Do you have a deck of cards?
Ah, yes. So we have several different types from all regions. Is there a particular preference in which you would like?
One playing card and one standard. I don't know if tarot exists in this. One standard tarot.
Yes, of course. So a 52 deck card and a tarot deck on its way. That'll be 1 gold piece. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your. Okay, and then that'll all. That will be all that I need.
Yes, thank you both all 3 of you very, very much. Is there anything else that we can do for you here at Bailey's and Stoley's?
I'm good.
Actually, I do have one question.
Yes,
Would
fire away.
there happen to be, maybe, I don't know if it would be at this hour, but would there happen to be an armorer or a blacksmith
Ooh.
that might still be open?
Yes, you might want to check with my cousin. She's over at Dragon Scale. They usually work a little late into the night, but I just realized I turned into Mickey Mouse.
Oh boy!
I wonder, are you gonna do a Minnie Mouse accent for the lady? Okay, let's.
Is this fucking Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, we're running through like.
We're
We're gonna run into like Xanahort or whatever his name is.
You can go over to the Armorous Dragon Scale and talk to my cousin Jameson Redbreast. And she'll be able to take care of you and all your needs.
I enjoyed the accent. That was a great voice though. For that person, like I'm picturing a little tiny dwarf or something like.
Russian flows real well into Mickey. So it makes sense, right? It's only natural.
Oh my gosh.
What you didn't know is that Mickey is Russian. Mickey is from Russia.
Mickey's a Russian.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking that maybe it's time to get my Warhammer a bit of an upgrade. Maybe I can find something worth slinging in our adventure.
Absolutely. Jameson does a little bit of everything. She can enhance your armor, enhance your weapons. She'll sell you anything she's forged fresh,
Jameson.
or if you have the materials, she'll craft you something unique to you. So, if you talk to her, she can probably give you some sort of diagram, and if you, in your ways, find the materials to make it, she'll make it for you at a fair price too.
Wonderful. I think I'll have to go pay a visit to this Jameson Redbreast. Thank you. I appreciate the potions.
Yes, thank you all very much.
Hospitality.
Absolutely. You all be safe. And then Stoli says, Bien nayo. Goodbye.
And then I guess we then wander off to the weapon shop.
Yeah,
At least I want to go.
I'm gonna follow you. I'll follow.
Okay.
Over my shoulder, I kind of call back to Stoli and Bailey's. Oh, see you later.
Damn.
And I get to step in.
Bailey is excited to hear you say that. Stoli kind of just eyes you in his gnomish ways and thinks you're making fun of them. So you actually are. If you guys are going to want to go to the forge, they are here in this corner of the market. They need as much open air and it takes up a lot of space. So they also know that one of their number one vendors, or excuse me, buyers, is the law enforcement. So they always try to stay close. So you guys kind of travel backwards, heading back to Dragon Scale, as it's called, headed towards the blacksmith and armorist, Jameson. She's also a dwarf, as again cousins to Bailey. And she doesn't acknowledge you at first, but you can see all the different pieces of armor and weaponry she has around. She has some war hammers, some great swords, some battle axes. Some of it is more for show, so the more ornate swords. And then there's also ones that seem to be much more for wartime, that seem to be prepared for action. And then you also see just kind of off on the side just a heap of diagrams of different types of armor and different types of weapons. The diagrams themselves are not for sale, but you see a price next to every single one, as well as the necessary materials. So that way, if they get commissioned, she's always willing to build them if the materials are present or can be provided, and then the cost with actually creating them. She's busy at work hammering away at some armor right now, so unless you approach her, she is not going to speak to you.
I saunter up and my armor jangling quite loud. It might not be quite loud enough for the sound of the hammering, but loud enough for someone to notice that I've arrived.
She quickly pushes a piece of armor that she's working in back into the front, looks up and says, how may I help you?
Yes, Jameson, I presume. I have I kind of reach around to my side and I pull my warhammer out. I kind of hold it up. Look at this thing. It's seen better days.
It's very much seen better days. Yes, I'd agree.
I'm wondering if perhaps you could do your magic on it, or do your work on it, and make it much more worthwhile in battle.
Well, I can definitely enhance or refinish, but if you're wanting something to pack a little more punch, then you're gonna need to get something a little different. That seems to be from when you were in your academy days, aye?
Well, sentimental value, I guess. I just have held on. It's served me well, but I think maybe it's time to get an upgrade. No?
Would you prefer an enhancement, or would you prefer a new weapon?
Would you happen to have something in a warhammer that would work with my eye color and my armor? I just like to accessorize well. Also, I need something that packs a good punch.
Well, there's two things I can do for you, sir. I can enhance the hammer and bell of your warhammer. It'll take me some time, and I can give you a replacement for the time being, or you can buy a new warhammer that I can custom fit to you. It just depends on what it is you would like.
Sure.
To do.
As far as your newer item, what do you have available for me? Do you have?
Today, I have warhammers of different shapes and size. Some in the form of a war axe. Still gives you the hammer blunt end, but an axe front end. We also have the double-sided axes in varying lengths, depending on obviously your size and stature. Is there anything that suits your fancy?
I want something. Oh, sorry, sir.
I was gonna say, I step in as she's explaining. I go, "Do you have any selection of war picks?"
We do, but not on hand. You would have to go through a diagram. Why am I fucking doing accents again? Just go through the diagram. She tells you to go through the diagrams and says if you see one on there that you might like, she can either have it forged or you provide materials.
Okay, cool. What about well, I'll let you finish now. I just wanted to point that in.
I'd like something. I'm thinking, just kind of do some calculations in my head real quick, just to see if I even would potentially have.
So she sees that you're genuinely interested, and she tells you, might I offer a suggestion?
Sure, anything.
So she takes the she checks the piece of armor she's working on and notices it's not quite hot enough, so she puts it back in the furnace. Then she comes out and around and looks at you and says, "How tall is your character? Is he a large man?"
I mean, he's like 6'6". He's like 6'2", I guess.
Okay, so he's fairly large, but not like the lion
Yeah.
size. Something.
No, not at all.
Okay. So she looks at you, and she hands you a piece of ribbon and tells you to lift your arm up as high as you can,
Okay.
holding the ribbon. And she pulls it down to the ground, takes one measurement, and she says, "Okay." And then she says, "Now stick your arm straight out."
Sure.
And she measures that length from down to the ground. And then she says to take both ends of the string and asks you to open your arms wide to see what your overall wingspan is. And then she looks at you and says, "About how much could you lift above your arm right now?"
I'd say I could easily lift with one arm and like swing easily.
She says, "You know what? Here, hold on." And she goes and grabs a couple of different warhammers of different weight. There's a lighter one that she hands you and asks you to just lift it up. And go ahead and give me a strength check to see how easily you lift this up. And go ahead and do it with advantage in case. Because this is relatively light, so. Okay. So she sees that you easily are able to pick that up. You know, you're able to hold it out with one hand, rotate it. She says, "Nah, too light. And then she takes it back. She hands you another one that's a little bit heavier. And this is like a medium weight metal. So she asks you to lift that up. So go ahead and give me another strength check. So she sees you struggle a little bit with this one, but not too much. She says, okay. And then she hands you the final, which is of the heaviest, densest metal, and asks you to lift that one up. So give me a strength check with disadvantage on that. So she actually notices that to her, while this is a heavier one, this is exactly the type of weight that you would prefer to wield. So she actually says, interesting. I would not have expected that. And she says, okay. She says, so for you, she starts going through her diagrams and pulls out a warhammer that's made of a custom metal that I do not know what the name of that will be. I will think of a name of the metal that it's made of. But she tells you it's something that can be found in the mines outside of town or through some of the miscellaneous raw ore vendors. And she says that the only thing that she needs is about 10 pounds of it. And then she can craft you a warhammer that would not only give you +2 to hit, but on hit, if you when you land, it gives you +3 to damage, and then if you land a critical hit, it gives you +10 to damage. So that's if you're able to hit with it. She says that it won't be cheap. It'll cost you probably around 150 to 200 gold. But if you want it, she can make it for you. And have it ready for you within about a week or a month.
Well, something to think about for sure.
If you'd like, she tells you that if you'd like a commission, I just need a small deposit now, and once the materials are presented, after I've made it, you would pay for the rest of it. So no promises, but also no guarantees. I understand that.
All right. How much of a deposit are we talking?
She tells you that it would only be about 5 to 10 golds, less than 10%.
Sure. Okay. I do like the sound of this warhammer. It does feel good in my hand.
Is this some
Alright.
Tanqueray ore?
Sure. That's good. That's good. Tanqueray ore. That's exactly what it is.
Oh my gosh.
So I need 10 gold now, and you need 10 pounds of this Tanqueray ore.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything else she tells you she can fashion and have and will match. The reason why she says she wants you to do Tanqueray ore is because of your request of it matching the rest of your armor and having a complete set, if you will. She also tells you that if you bring her more of that ore, she can probably make you a full plate mail armor set to go with it, but that would be far more expensive.
Sure. I'll have to. That's fine. I will. I'll go ahead and make a deposit, and
Okay.
I'll
do you remember the stats I gave you on that, so that way I don't forget?
Hold on. He said, "Fuck."
I said it was +5 to hit, right?
Yes.
And then +3 damage, and then if it's critical damage, it's +10. Okay. And I don't have a name for this, so if you want to come up with a good name, you can. So I'll let you think on that.
Assuming you get it.
No.
Assuming you get it, yeah.
While he kind of looks at that and thinks about it, I'm going to ask her about maces. I don't want a commission. I just want to know if she has any, even something as simple as like a mace +1 lying around or something.
She does have some basic maces. Those are going to be, nothing fancy, nothing ornate. Just some of it's just as middle, just a wooden handle with some metal spikes going through it. She asks you exactly what type of mace you're looking for. Are you looking for a two-handed mace? Are you looking for more of like a morning star or a flail?
Probably a morning star, just a one-handed morning star.
Okay. So she goes through and she says, so she finds a couple. She says anything from here is equally balanced, well balanced, but apart from that, there isn't much to it without commission. And those are just a couple of +1s to hit, but don't give any boost to damage. There's nothing fancy about it.
How much are they?
She says they range from about the smaller ones, the more simpler ones that don't give any advantage to hit are going to be about 3 or 4 gold. The ones that give +1 to hit are going to be closer to 5 to 10 gold.
Okay, so there's one that gives +1 to hit. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Whoa. Is there a mace +3 in there?
Not that she's already made. You would have to commission one.
Okay. What about a mace +2? Also
Nope.
commission. Okay.
Yep. Anything greater than just base, like you said, she has standard ones that are unbalanced weight that just kind of lets you do the job. Then she has these more balanced ones that give you the +1 to hit. Anything more than that, she lets you know that she has to spend more time on it, and she usually doesn't do it unless there's on commission because most people aren't interested in this town.
Okay, so that's just a mace +1, right? Basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
+1 to hit. Yeah.
Oh, just +1 to hit. Okay. Well, you said it was 10.
No, it was depending on which one you picked out. It's going to be between 5 and 10.
Okay, that +1. Does she have like a? I know I'm asking a lot of questions. Last question, I think. Does she have a true mace +1 that gives both attack and damage +1?
No. I mean, let me take that back. She does, but she's not going to willingly give it to you. So you have to kind of finagle it out of her.
Okay. Now I'm gonna attempt that. I'll say, we'll see if I can. But I'm gonna try and get that true +1, that true mace +1, which gives +1 to hit and damage. And I'm going to, I guess I'll ask her about it. I get told about it, I assume, and then I'll say, I will give you all of the gold I have for the mace.
She tells you that's not necessary. These mace only cost 4 to 5 gold each.
For the actual true +1 mace.
You can't call it a true +1 mace. Okay. She says I'm not sure I follow. And she starts going towards
that mace, I guess, yeah.
the mace that you're referring to, and she starts trying to put you between her and she says, I can't sell this one. This one has already been commissioned. I'm waiting for the buyer to arrive.
How much did that buyer offer you for that mace?
Well, he already put a deposit down, so it'd be inappropriate for me to discuss further.
Very well. I will leave it alone, and I will actually back out and do that. Yeah. So I will actually not buy anything.
Okay.
And actually, so I'll leave you the commission, deposit for the commission, and I will be back for this Warhammer, which I've already decided will be called the Jarenworth Legacy, the Furious Warhammer of House Jarenworth. And that is the full name. I will say it every time I will.
Would you say the Furious?
You need to type that.
Yeah. What was that called? What was that
I
called?
just have no idea.
Hold on.
Say the entire thing. Yeah. Oh, you type it. Yeah. Taking you this long to, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Jarenworth Legacy. Furious Warhammer.
The Jarenworth
Okay.
Legacy, the Furious Warhammer.
I like
of
to say the
Jarenworth.
parentheses out too.
Parentheses. Furious Warhammer of House Jarenworth.
And with the fury of House Jarenworth, I will smite. No. So I will, good woman. I will leave you the deposit for that. I will be back with the Tanqueray ore, of course. But in the meantime, just in case it takes me a little longer to assemble that ore, I would like to just honestly look at maybe even just like a Warhammer +1. Even something just a little bit of an upgrade for now would be good.
Yes. She
will
says,
that
of
run
course,
me?
of course. She says, with the deposit, she's more than happy to enhance your current Warhammer to be a +1. It's just gonna be a little bit heavier to use.
It's fine.
Okay. So she says that's of no problem. So if you hand her your Warhammer, she'll enhance it to be a +1.
Hell yeah. Hand it over.
So just so you know, when you say +1, that's +1 to hit, not necessarily +1 to damage. So
That's totally fine. I just want something enhanced on it. So.
yeah.
Does that? How much would that?
That doesn't. She says that since you put the deposit down, she's willing to do that free of charge. And she tells you that if you come back in the morning, she'll have your Warhammer ready.
Thank you.
How much is that?
He had to put a deposit down of 10 gold, and she said that she would take care of the enhancement on his current Warhammer while she awaits supplies for the custom Warhammer that he will be
Doing that.
commissioning.
Okay.
All right. Are we done with our little? Do we have anything else we need to hit up on our shopping adventure?
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need anything else. I think I have all the supplies I need. Also, I was going to suggest we take a quick break for coffee and stuff.
Sure.
Cool. Well, we're
Yeah,
probably
I'm
gonna, unless Eric also, it's Kenny Laggins' turn, so we probably won't be doing anything ourselves. So
Yeah, sure. That's I mean, if Matt's good to go, I'm good to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys finish up your shopping escapades at Dragon Scale and at Bailey's and Stoley's. And I assume that took about an hour again, so it's right around 7 o'clock. So all of the other shops are going to be closing down. You guys are more than welcome to head back
to the Golden Moose.
and grab some drinks and whatnot before you go on your venture.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay. Heading over to Kenneth Ward Laggins. Or Kenny Laggins.
Kenneth Word. Hell yes. That's your new name. Good job. DM has willed it. That's your new name. Kenneth Worth Laggins.
I think if you add worth to anything, it makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I will not be in the same boat as Defo. All right.
All right. So, Kenny Laggins, sir, you guys, you left from the prison, if you will, around the same time as them, around 5 o'clock, and you said you needed to head off into go find some musical instruments. Was that a euphemism for you're gonna go find some thieves?
Yeah,
tools?
yeah, it
Okay.
was because I
So I
didn't
figured.
want I didn't want to have them
Yeah.
know exactly what I was, or at least some
Yeah.
of them.
Okay, cool. So then, you say you have underworld contacts, right? And you do,
Yeah.
do you know a little bit of thieves' cant or anything like that, or no?
I happen to be shit at thieves' cant,
Mm-hmm.
but I generally can smooth talk my way through anything, and also like they can usually tell by all my rings and stuff that
Okay.
I
So,
get them.
Since you're not new to thievery, you're familiar with seeing the signs of thieves' cant. A lot of times you yourself can't perform them, so whether it's in the way you speak or in the signs that you try to use, because thief cant is written as well as spoken, so you can see signs, out in the open that are clearly marked for like thief storehouses or places where you can go to purchase um, thieves' goods, if you will. And as you're walking through, you say you're going to try and find this musical place, which in reality there isn't a single place in here that sells musical goods. Really, there isn't a specialty shop, I should say. Like, while the music is played on a regular basis, usually people have to go out of town in order to purchase those goods. They're not really taken care of in this town. But no one knows that. I mean, I'd imagine that you guys aren't from around here, so they would think none the better. So you might just say that you looked around and didn't find anything. But as you're walking along the market, you see some clear signs that indicate that if you were looking for work or materials, that you're supposed to head down a certain alley.
Okay.
So as you're walking through, you see that the alley kind of sends you back into the back of this area, and you keep seeing more and more signs until you actually get right here into this back little nook, where you see some dilapidated buildings. Kind of, it looks like it's the kind of the slummy area. You actually notice that it's not too far from Davide's apartment, but you can clearly see that these are once-time shops, maybe when the town first started, and then as the town grew, it started to progress more towards the center. So these have now been kind of taken over for thief guilds as well as thief supply stores, or I should say unsavory supply stores. So things that are either once procured or stolen. In other words, pawn shops. Like a lot of this is just pawn shops. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go inside one of them?
Yeah, I'll head into one of those.
Okay.
I'll just saunter in, kind of,
All right.
a little confident, not afraid to be there.
Yeah. So you go into this particular pawn shop. It doesn't really have a name that's legible above it, but you do see a ring, kind of looks like a jeweler's ring at the top of the sign, but you can't really make out a name as you walk in. As you walk in, you see a lot of just random knickknacks strewn across the shop's walls, not in any discernible or understandable method. But you do see that there's it does, from what you're used to, it looks like that this building should be bigger than it actually is.
Okay.
And then I'm assuming you approach the shopkeep.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Am I glad to see you?
He says, he looks at you and says, hopefully I'll be able to say the same there, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for some tools.
Ah, tools. Yes, we got plenty of them. You looking for woodscrafting tools? You looking for masonry tools? We've got a little bit of it all. Is there something specific that you would need to do with these tools?
Yeah, I'd say they are a sort of carpentry tools. Open up holes and carve.
I see. So are you needing to open solid wood holes, or are you looking to open things that maybe aren't wanting to be opened?
Yes.
Ah, he says, I may have something here in the back there for you, sir. If you wouldn't mind showing me some coin.
I tap my coin pouch, and here I get jangle.
And he says, quite. If you'll follow me now, there, sir. And he reaches out his hand to essentially let you into the back. But you recognize this as not a gesture of letting you walk in the back. He's actually testing you to see if you're there to do harm or if you're there to actually buy goods. And you recognize this, and you decide to take action. So go ahead and give me a what would this be? Give me an intellect check and see if you know exactly what the appropriate action should be. And go ahead and give it to me with the advantage.
All right.
Well done. All
Okay.
right. So even though he's inviting you to the back, you know that the thing is to allow to present yourself in a way that shows that you have no weapons, and then you're supposed to offer him a coin for his service. So as he allows you into the back, he keeps his hand on his waist where he holds his dagger, waiting for you to indicate your non-intent of harm. You kind of show your hands, kind of like a blackjack dealer does, showing I'm not holding anything, I don't have anything. And then what type of coin do you hand him?
I'll hand him, I guess, a silver coin.
Okay. So he says absolutely, sir, and you can see his hand removes from his dagger, and he tells you to head into the back room, and we can take a look at the goods. So he leads you into the back room of his shop, and back here you can see a lot of the more priceless items. You can see some of the stuff that's probably worth several hundred gold, and are probably things that were acquired probably without merit.
Do I see any rings?
You don't see anything right there. He doesn't let you stay in that room long enough to look at anything that's of true value there. He then takes you into the next room over, with some more common goods that are being stolen, that are being acquired. Yeah, that are being obtained. And he brings you here, and he goes behind the counter there, and then he shows you all the different lock picking tools and things like that he has to offer you in this room.
I just realized that. I think
and you can look around and see if there's anything that you want, but you can see mostly stuff in here is more of the means to buying
Tools
things.
of the trade.
Yeah, rather than things of high value.
I think I can talk in as long
I
as
give
I can
excited
listen.
little
You're
clap
muted,
with my
they
hands. I'm
can't
like,
hear me, but y'all
fantastic.
can.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized
It
that.
says, so
Hey.
we have a large variety of locks and picks. We have your do-it-alls, and he shows you a large toolkit that he tells you can pick any simple lock as well as several complicated locks, but it says it will give you trouble for any major locks. He tells you that usually major locks are things that are going to be found in strong boxes that are usually of higher quality. So these are going to be things like that high royalty would have. So complicated, extremely complicated locks. He tells you that this is the best kit that money can buy without having to break an actual door or chest to get into. And then he tells you that this is a little bit on the more pricier side, the more economic versions. He shows you two more. One of them, it's a little bit smaller set, and he tells you that will have no problem opening simple locks and complex locks, but will not work for opening any major locks. And then he shows you the simplest set, which says this will open any simple lock that you come across. And asks you which is your preference.
I want no barriers in this life.
Okay. So he tells you if you want no barriers, he reaches down and crowbar and says, and this is your best bet. If you wish to have no door be held in your way, but in that case, you also need magic, which unfortunately I cannot help you with.
I'd rather have more tact. And
I
go
see.
back to that first one he was showing off.
Okay.
But
Yeah, he tells you you're a wise man. I had a sense you would be. He goes back and says yes. So he shows you all the different nooks and crannies and tells you how they work. And he actually brings up a couple of different locks from behind the corner and says, now, to be honest, I don't sell this to just any thief. I have to know that you can use this and use it well. So he says, in order to buy it, I need to know that you actually know what you're doing. So he asks you to pick the lock on majority of these locks to see if you can actually open it and that you know what you're doing.
Oh, here we go.
So
I chuckle to myself a little bit excitedly, waggle my fingers, and I pick up the first.
okay, and this is a simple lock. So this is going to be a simple dexterity check with the. Do you
Would
have?
it be sleight of hand? Right?
Yeah. Yes, it would be sleight of hand. You pick it with fair ease, with not really a whole lot of trouble. He examines the lock and says, yes, very nice. No bending or breaking of the springs, no scratches. Well done, my good sir. And then he brings up a complicated strong box and tells you that this one will not be quite as simple. And he tells you, if you can figure out how to open it, then this set of thieves' tools is yours, and we can talk about price afterward. So before you start, a complicated lock actually has a few different mechanisms to unlock it. You don't just directly unlock the box.
Okay.
You have come across it a handful of times, but you're not always certain of what's the secondary and primary trigger. So you will have to do you'll have to do an investigation on the box first to see if you can identify what's the secondary trigger to release the lock. Otherwise, you run the risk of breaking the lock or breaking the toolkit. So go ahead and give me an investigation. All right. So you can see after rolling it around, you kind of flip it upside down, put it on its sides, that there is a small indentation that looks as though you would have to press in the sides as you are opening the lock in order to release the lock without it breaking. So now that you know that, you can now pick the lock, knowing that once the lock is ready to turn, you have to turn. You have to press in those little indentions. So go ahead and perform another sleight of hand to see if you are able to successfully pick the lock.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So you go in and you start maneuvering the tools around. You can feel the lock loosening. You're able to turn some of the bolts on the inside, and then you feel that the lock being ready to turn. As soon as you find that, you go ahead and take your free hand and press the lever to release the lock, and then you easily turn the lock over and open it. And the merchant says, "Ooh, that was rather quick. That was impressive."
Well, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. I can see you're a man of high skill.
I do a lot of finger work.
I believe you and the ladies appreciate that. And he tells you, you might be a very skilled thief, but I wonder if you are a world-class thief. Would you care to give your thieving skills a test?
Perhaps. What is it you are suggesting?
He tells you, I have a safe here that I have been unable to open. If you wish to use your skills to help open this safe, I will be willing to give you at least one item out of that safe if you're able to open it.
How about you sweeten the pot and also throw in the tools? Or at least
I-
give me a discount.
He says if you're able to open the lock, then absolutely.
All right.
So
Show me this bad boy.
So he picks up all the toolkits and he says follow me, and he takes you into the back area of his workshop, and you see a massive, strong, long box safe that's roughly about 5 feet high. So as a gnome, this is going to be possibly difficult for you to open because the lock is about couple of inches above your head, so you can't see clearly into it. So you'll need to be on a stool or some kind of chair in order to see directly into the lock.
Right.
But you also notice that there are 3 different lock placements on it, and has a major lock that you need to pick. So you'll need to successfully do 3 lock checks. You also need to investigate it to make sure there isn't anything that you can tell that needs to be done in any secondary manner, or if there's a specific order in which you need to release the locks for the major lock to turn open.
All right.
So do you want to go ahead and try and venture this?
Yeah, I'd love to. This sounds fun.
All right, so go ahead and do an investigation check to see if you can figure out how to open this bad boy.
Oof.
Ooh. So as you're walking around looking at it, you're not really 100% certain of if there's anything that you need to do on the exterior of this particular lockbox in order to open it. You don't see anything that indicates that there's any imperfections in the metal or in the steel. So as far as you just think that you need to open the locks in any random order. You're not really 100% certain which order you need to open them in. So you see 3 locks along the left-hand side, and then 1 major lock in the middle with a turnstile to open it. Which lock do you want to try and undo first?
Okay, I saw the major one is. Say it again.
So there's 3 minor locks on the left that you can open relatively easily, and then there's a major lock in the middle that you can also try and open. But it's up to you which one you want to do. The major lock is on a turnstile, so once you've unlocked the major lock, you can turn the wheel to actually release the bolts across the entire to open it.
I'm going to go ahead and do the smaller locks first.
Okay. Do you want to do top to bottom, bottom to top?
I want to do the middle one first.
Do the middle one first? Okay. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. Okay, so as you are working on this middle one, you feel no resistance, no issues, and you're able to easily turn and unlock this one, and you hear a small click as you release the lock from the middle. What is the next lock you want to try?
I'm going to go for the top simple lock.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another sleight of hand check. Are you gonna try and stand on like a chair or something?
I'll ask for like a stool or something.
Okay.
Might I borrow a little lift here?
He says, but of course. And he brings over a stool so that way you're a little bit more eye-lined with the lock.
Step up and stretch my fingers and get to.
Okay.
Ooh!
Ooh. So as you are about to turn this lock, you actually can hear the clicks going on through the safe.
Wow.
And you immediately realize that this is not the lock you need to undo first. You know that this sounds to be a lock that's being dependent. Like you don't hear the normal click, 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 click as you would when you were working on the first one. So before you even try and turn it, you stop and then realize to yourself, you know what? probably not the lock you need to do first. And then you go down to the bottom lock.
All right. Do I need to roll sled hand for that?
No, that 20 lets you unlock that bottom one perfectly easily, and you're able to unlock it with no issue. And then you can go back up to the simple lock up there and finish that lock as well, since it was primarily done. So go ahead and do another sleight of hand check on that lock, but with advantage.
Ooh, so lucky to be advantage.
Thank God.
Thank goodness for advantage. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So with that advantage, you're able to finish the lock easily. So now you have all 3 of the simple locks released, and now you can open the major lock. Now with this one, this is gonna, since you've already released the main levers on this lock, it is still a very complicated lock. So this is going to require a DC check of a 15 or greater for sleight of hand. So you need to roll fairly well in order to get this lock without breaking your tools.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have anything. I can't inspire myself.
Nope. Here we go. It's one roll. Let's go. And
Nope.
Ooh.
Fuck.
So as you're undoing this major lock, you think you have found the final click you need, but right as you're about to lift it, you feel a crack in one of the tools that you're using. So before you try and turn it, you take all of the tools out, and you see that you've damaged one of the hooks in the lockpicking set. While this is a bad thing, you can still recover from this. However, if you use a different lockpick set, like a different size hook from the lockpicking set, it does make the lock more difficult to undo, but not impossible. So did you want, this is broken, so you're going to have it fixed or get it replaced, which is going to cost you more money. So you can either leave it as is and buy the set and get a replacement lock, or you can still try and unlock it with a different lock, risk breaking it or breaking the lock, so that way you won't be able to open it.
Damn, this is trickier than I thought. You couldn't fix this tool here on the flag.
Ooh, he tells you no, I couldn't do that right now. I could maybe try and find you another one in a day or so, but this particular set was custom made for me, so I don't have the molds or anything like that.
I don't want to break this lock. Perhaps I can save it for another time. But
He says,
I nearly had it.
I said you did exceptionally well. And he tells you, considering you did the bulk of the heavy lifting, I'm willing to give you this set on discount if you like.
Sure. Surely. And if I return another day and you still haven't gotten this lock open, I will gladly try.
Yes, and I will request a replacement pick for the one that was broken. You shouldn't have any issues with any other lock. However, obviously with master locks, you are going to want this particular pick in order to make sure you're able to successfully unlock them. So until you find a new piece or you are able to replace it, I would recommend not trying to break any major lock.
Fair enough. I will be back in town in a day or so.
Oh, excellent. I will hopefully have a replacement piece for you. So you go back to talking to him, and you decide on a price for the lockpick set. How much gold do you have left, Kenny?
I have 25 right now.
He tells you that the final lockpicking set, because this is the master set with an eventual replacement key, he's willing to sell to you for about 20 gold.
Excellent. I will take them.
And he says, excellent. And next time you're in, I will have the replacement pick ready for you. You said within a day or two, possibly, yes?
Yes, I will be back in about 2 days, probably.
Yes. Well, I will request it and hopefully have it back by then. You can see that there's clear excitement in his face because he's hoping that once you get back, you'll be able to open the lock for him again. Of course, he's already, you asked him to throw in the set that you weren't able to unlock, so he got at least money out of that. But now he's excited for the opportunity for someone to be able to open the safe that no one's yet been able to open. So he asks you if there's anything else he can help you with apart from this thief set.
Beyond that, I was curious if you've had any trouble with some cultists lately. If I could tug your ear.
He tells you, why, I don't know what you mean, trouble.
Perhaps causing disturbances in jobs and such. These
He tells you no, not here in Niflheim. The town pretty much keeps to itself with the mines. No one dares disrupt the supply of goods to the capital from us. So I'd say, as far as I can tell, no, we've had no issues with any cults of any kind here.
Interesting. Well, on terms of that, it's good to hear. Is there any chance of fine jewelry? That is, perchance, my favorite form.
He says, but sir, you did not request jewelry. He tells you next time you're in, if that's what you want, a showing of a gold piece is typically what you must do to show the type of coin you're willing to spend. But he says that if you would like, I can.
I'm more interested in acquiring.
Yes, no, that's what he's saying is.
Okay. If I'm looking for work, give him gold.
If you're looking for work, show silver. If you're looking to buy gold, like buy something that's been stolen, show gold. If you're looking to acquire materials, or look for work, you show silver.
Okay, I had showed a silver.
Yeah, so he figured you were talking about thieves' tools or some sort of supply. Are you looking for an open contract? I guess he's confused.
Yes.
Oh, you were looking for goods. I don't have anything as of yet, but if you're interested, give me a day or so, and I can. When you return, I shall have some leads on some very fine opportunities. What is it specifically you're interested in?
I have a desire for rings, as you can see, and I put my hand on the table, covered in quite a few rings. But I'm also interested in any finery. I have an issue with shiny things, as it.
Some might call that dragon sickness, if you catch my meaning.
If only I was so large.
He says, yes, I will ask around. It may not be here in Niflheim, for such things are not common, but there are towns and connections we all may be able to share, and I will absolutely have a lead for you upon your return.
Excellent. By the way, I don't think I caught your name. I'm Kenny Laggins.
You know better than to ask for names, good sir.
I don't need your name.
Well, you may simply call me. Let me find random article in my room to give him a name. You may call me.
How about the Canary? Because
you want the Canary?
Well, because this is like a mining town, right? And so we have back in the what was it called? The other town. He's the iguana.
He was the iguana. So you want it to be animals? Okay. So he'll be the Canary. Yeah. He's like, sir, you may call me the Canary.
Excellent, Canary. I look forward to doing business with you again.
Absolutely, Mr. Laggins. Okay. So you're able to acquire. That whole process took quite a bit of time since you were conversing and then also picking locks and then also the final attempt to pick the master safe lock. So is there anything else you wanted to do before we say that was a 2-hour-long session or 2-hour-long endeavor?
No, that's fine. I don't think I need anything else from him. Not that I could afford much else. Unless he's got something that increases the
No.
sled hand,
No.
like
No.
some luck picking gloves.
That would be interesting. No, I think you're good. Yeah, I think if you gave anything to increase, that'd be my opinion. Okay, cool. So you're able to get your thief set. You are missing the lock or the pick to
complex.
unlock for master locks.
Master
So major locks. You can still do complex locks and simple locks, but master locks or major locks, you don't have the proper tools. So anytime you try to unlock it, you would have a disadvantage at unlock.
Okay.
Unless you're able to investigate and see if there's, like, obviously again, so there's just things. You don't have the right tool to prevent any type of disadvantage or to make it easier to unlock. Okay, so you all head back to the Golden Moose.
Hey, I got one thing. I didn't really want to RP it, but I want to go to a tailor to get a mask made, and I'll give you the.
Fuck yeah!
I'll give you the schematics for it.
Okay. So is this something you decided after the armorist, or did you want to go there?
We could say I was doing it while the whole lockpicking competition was going.
Why do you not want to RP it though, Jay?
Because I'm honestly not interested in RPing a shopkeeper situation.
Fine. That sounds like someone doesn't want to play the game then.
No, I just don't want to haggle with the shopkeeper.
Who says you gotta haggle? I'm saying, and like, you could at least roll some dice to see if there's something better. But you know what? That's fine. You know what? You can just go by and see a mask that you saw on the side of a shop and just grab it, and there you go.
No, I want a custom made
Jay,
mask.
That's not how this is gonna work.
But what's the mask gonna? What kind of mask?
Are you gonna look like King from Tekken?
Oh, please say you are. That would be so sick.
It's possible.
That's what his character token is.
Yeah. Well.
All right, so you just want to find a random tailor, to make you a mask. Like, honestly, bro, the thing I'm thinking, because this is not a town of fine goods, like, since this is more of a mining town, like fine silks and satin things aren't found here that often. So it's mainly going to be like leather and like some sort of hide. So are you gonna get like a leather mask, or do you want to wait until you get into like maybe a better city to find this mask that you want to wear?
Okay, yeah, here's what we'll do. I'll get a leather mask right now, and then when there's an opportunity for me to talk to a tailor in whatever city we're in, just let me know.
Okay.
And then I will RP it.
Okay. Okay, so then you are straight up going to, right now, look like mankind, because you're going to have a leather mask on that's going to be on your face.
Yes.
Okay.
Even better.
Is that cool?
Maybe Vader.
I mean, all right, yeah, that's fine.
That or Kane, one of the two. Like,
Hey, I forgot about that too.
I think I'd probably prefer to look like Kane. Look like mankind.
So is it going to be like
mankind just looks in.
Yeah, I know, right? So you're going to have like a dyed red mask that goes on your face?
Yeah, that covers like everything except my mouth area.
Your mouth? Okay.
Okay.
So you're able to have this conversation, and you find a relatively comfortable but not necessarily appealing mask that you're able to wear. And then you suddenly show up to the Golden Moose with everybody with this mask on.
Oh my gosh.
Is everyone just cool with that?
Yeah.
I kind of recoil because this masked man, but then I think I recognize his body, and I'm like, and the rest of his clothes, and I'm like, oh, it's him.
Okay, cool. So anyone? Okay, so I would like to have everyone give me a check. Let's do a charisma check. If you just said that you didn't care that he showed up that way, just do a regular one. If you recoiled in any way, go ahead and give me a charisma check with disadvantage.
Nice. Damn, your charisma's
So-
crazy.
I'm super okay with it.
All right.
That's actually-
well, George, disadvantage. So give me another one.
Yeah.
That's a good roll. I'm sorry, it's wasted on a disadvantage roll.
That's all right. Charisma, right? Just straight charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, George, you you see him, and you don't just step back. You say some expletives in your regular language, and actually, would you say that you lash out at him, or are you just like truly offended by what you just see?
No, I wouldn't say I lash out. He would make me. I would be nervous. Like it would be like a sense of, oh, this guy means trouble. So I'd maybe like,
Okay.
like put my hand on my mace or like back
Okay.
behind on the war pick, like just ready
Okay.
for something.
So,
Actually.
as long as he's wearing the mask, if you're at any point next to him, you are gonna always have a disadvantage at charisma checks, and you're gonna have a disadvantage at what's another good one? I'm gonna say at perception checks, because you're gonna be overly concerned by the fact that you're standing next to Gonzo. So just make a conscious effort to not be near him.
Okay. Just as he has his mask on.
Yeah, whenever he has his mask on.
Okay.
This isn't even his final form.
No.
Interesting.
Okay.
Sorry, making notes. Okay. So. Okay, so you guys make it back to the Golden Moose. You guys want to get some drinks, get some food, do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink now that my belly's feeling better, and
Okay.
and get some food too.
Okay. So you don't have to sit at the bar. You can sit at a table. It's up to
Oh,
you.
yeah, let's go to this booth.
It's,
sweet. Let's go to
it's
the
a-
sweet
it's
booth.
a-
Back.
Fairly bubbly and I shouldn't say bubbly. It's a fairly busy night tonight. Lots of patrons are in. Lots of waitresses are about. Let me add some bar people.
And we're gonna sit in our booth. This is our booth now. No one else can claim it.
Okay. Okay, bud. Sorry, I'm gonna add some peeps. Nope. So you're gonna have a barmaid in come up, present y'all with some food and beverage. You guys eat, drink, be merry with whatever you like. Is there anything y'all want to do, talk about, anything like that while y'all are in here?
I would. I'd probably talk. Who would I talk about? I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just get some food. Honestly.
Okay. Any particular type of food anyone wants?
I want to try some of the local cuisine, so I'll
Yeah,
ask
that sounds
her
great.
what's kind of the favorite of the. I'm like, what do you like? What's good here?
It's a Niflheim special.
What's Niflheim special? So Niflheim, mainly it has lots of goats. It's not a farming town, so there's not a whole lot of variety when it comes to types of meats. So a lot of what they do is going to be goat and sheep based. So some veal. Is that goat? Or is that's deer? No, venison's deer. Venison's deer.
Bill is like baby cat.
Yeah. So whatever is goat. So they have some lamb chops, things like that. They're quite known for their lamb chops. So you can order that. If that works for you.
I'll have some of that. Sounds delightful.
They also offer that they have a plethora of just dried aged meat that you can purchase or procure as well. If there's anything in particular that you might be interested in, so like just a charcuterie board, anything like that.
Actually, I'd like one of those to go. Just give me a whole sauce.
Just some dried meats to go.
Mhm.
Okay. She says she can do that. Anything else for anyone?
Bring a charcuterie board for the table. I'd like
Absolutely.
to. Very famished.
I'll take whatever I had last time I was here. I'll ask for one of those. I think it was a cider, the knot. It was some kind of cider.
Okay. Oh yes. Okay. So she says yes, the cider, absolutely.
Make that
anything
two.
else for anybody?
Give me
Two
one of
ciders?
those two. Yes.
Okay.
I will have a cider as well.
3, excellent. So ciders all around, yes. Jay, are you not joining the group?
Oh no, I am. I just assumed that when you said ciders all around that it was for all.
Well, but are you gonna move your character, or are you gonna stand off in a corner like a lonely cat?
Stand outside.
No, I'm gonna join every.
Then move your freaking token. That's not your token. That is Jeff's token.
You're
You
king.
are law.
I'm-
You do not remember this.
I was moving mine. So.
Oh well, Jeff, good job.
I was like, should I position?
Oh,
my
I couldn't even see mine for
Should I
some
position
reason.
my character next to George instead, just so he doesn't?
Hold on,
get
I
the
want it to be
EG?
tilted too. There we go.
Oh
Everyone-
hell yeah!
Get caught.
So she's going and getting everyone's food order ready. She's drinks. You as you guys are sitting down, you have more and more people that slowly enter into the bar area, coming in through the front door. Some of them are miners coming in from a long day in the mine. Some of them are some of the local folk that were working in the market or in their shops. And why is it so fucking difficult to move stuff without moving? So there's always
Is that what they're
lots of-
saying to us?
Why
What's
is
that?
it so hard to
Is that what they're
move?
saying to us?
Yeah, it's exactly what
Why
they're
is it so fucking difficult?
Why are you so fucking complicated? No. But you hear a lot of people coming in the mine, talking about their general, day, kind of what happened. You hear some of the conversations that are going about. Nothing really suits your fancy, but you do hear some general conversation about some concerns in the town, about the exterior of the town maybe not being as safe as it once was, and that somebody should really do something about it. If only they had people that would be willing to kind of take care of some of the nonsense that keeps troubling the people of Niflheim.
And then for some reason, every one of them in unison turns and looks at us in the corner, and then goes back to their business again. If only we had someone.
If only there were some people in here that might be willing to do what needs to be done.
Some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoosh. No, good. Sorry. Well, there's nothing else we gotta do. There's one thing. I don't know. I'm going to bed tonight, guys.
So after hearing that, does anybody want to take any type of initiative or anything, or does anybody want to do anything other than just listening to the squabbles of these peoples?
I would. Someone who is, if there was someone next to me or near me that I could kind of do it, I'd kind of like walk up and ask, like, I could not help overhearing. What sort of troubles do you see in your town?
So George, you come over here, and you're talking to these folks, these fine people, the salt of the earth type of people. So, God damn it. Okay. And they say, they tell you that just we're simple people in this town, and we are not cut out for handling disturbances and monsters or anything like that. And over the past several months, there was a cave that's been completely emptied for several years since they started. It was an abandoned mine cave that wasn't producing anything. But now kobolds have taken it and turned it into their roost. But it's only a few short miles outside of town. And ever so often, the kobolds start to try and weevil their way into the town. No one's been injured by it yet, and no one's been attacked, but they do cause mischief by stealing goods, stealing food, stealing supplies in some cases. And you actually hear the blacksmith that's right behind him, not the one that you spoke with, but an apprentice blacksmith, come over and say that just the other week, a band of kobolds snuck in the night and stole a large number of weapons and materials that her master needed to finish some other commissions, and that she was going to have to take a loss on the commissions because she wouldn't be able to finish them. And she says that she posted something in the marketplace on the message board for someone to try and go and take care of it, but no one's been willing to come up and do anything about it. And she says that not only would she be certain that her master would be willing to pay anyone that would provided these goods, but she would buy a round of drinks for any group of men or women that would be willing to go out and try and take care of this right now.
You say it's out of town. You say the kobolds are out of town. Which direction? Like out the gate or towards the mine?
She tells you that it's into the mountains, so it's not on any main road. So that's part of the reason why no one wants to go out that way, is that it isn't a convenience in any way. It is essentially away from any major road. It's away from the train station, but it's where one of the failed mines was. So it's off the beaten path, but it's starting to cause problems now.
I'll stand up and go join him by his side. Give him a nudge. I'm like, you think we could handle this?
I have no doubt that we could probably handle this together well. If we handled those, the way we handled those people on the train, the cultists on the train, I have no doubt that we could handle it. I only wonder if we should. The longer we stay in this town, the further away Davide may get from us.
Well, if we handle it tonight, our train will be in tomorrow.
We could handle it tonight. Let's go speak to the group and see what they say. So,
Okay, go talk to the
we
group.
go talk to the group. I basically relay what I heard. There's a group of kobolds in a cave out in the mountains, and they haven't asked us to do it, but they buy us a round of drinks, and there's some rewards in it for us. So, did y'all want to take care of this? Y'all want to kind of see if we can find this and take care of it tonight?
Only if we can take care of it tonight. We don't want to miss our
train tomorrow. Okay. Yes, I agree. So, if we want to take care of it tonight, let's finish eating and go see what we can see.
Oh,
Alright,
anyone guide us to the mines themselves?
yeah.
Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking kind of the group of people.
The blacksmith tells you that she'd be happy to show you where to go, but it would take her more than a single beer to venture out that way to see if anyone would be willing to go. So she says, if you drink with me, I'll be happy to go.
That seems a fair trade. Let us drink.
So you guys all sit together, sit around, and have a drink or two.
To taking care of business.
To taking care of business.
Every day.
Sorry, I'm reading that. Okay, so you guys have a couple of drinks, and then the blacksmith apprentice has a couple of drinks with you. It's getting close to midnight-ish, and she asks you if you're ready to go out and take care of these kobolds, and says that if there's anything you need to get ready, you guys can go. Is there anything you guys need to you guys need to take care of?
No. We'll just need a place to rest our heads after we're finishing the caves. This place will be closed up. If you have a spot, a stable, something basic we can rest in.
Yeah, she says absolutely. You can sleep in the workshop. There's always a spare cot and some hay for the furnace that we use. So she says that.
Weren't we given a room here?
Yes, but they say that the doors close after midnight.
Oh, okay. Right.
So if you leave, there's no guarantee you're gonna be able to get.
Okay, right. Okay.
I mean, I might be able to get back in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if we have a place to stay, that's fine.
Okay.
Can I take a little break?
Yeah, no, I was about to say the same thing. If you
Alright.
wouldn't mind taking 5-10 minutes for those that didn't break.
Right.
All right, so we will take a quick one, and then pick back up in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Perfect.
Oh.
Ooh.
A hunting we will go.
A hunting we will. What's our stopping time? Mind you, I have nothing else to do today.
I think we still want to be done by 2.
By 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
So another hour and a half, give or take.
Cool.
Cool. Gonna grab something to drink.
Cool.
Yeah, I need something. Guys, I'm gonna speak to my audience. And probably, I have some water. I'm doing fine. Guys, thank you so much for joining if you're watching. Appreciate it. Even if you're just lurking or if you're watching in the future, well, after we have finished and you're just kind of watching the future, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for watching. We're on a grand adventure right now. We're about to maybe get into some battle. See how we do. We've already had one battle, so we'll see. But I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Keep in mind, I do have a Discord, so I hope you join the Discord. Do I have that up? No, I don't have that up. I guess I should set that up, huh?
Probably.
Let me. Well, I have Nightbot, so Nightbot can be set up to put in these things. I actually need to go ahead and set it up with a Discord kind of or something command, distro command. Whatchamacallit? Let's see. Add that. Command Discord. We can do that. Oh, my boy Killer Suspect is online. That's my cousin. that should do it. Let's see. Nice. Perfect. But let's edit that. There we go. Okay, that should look good. Whew. So, if you're watching in the future, to recap, I was just testing out my Discord, making sure to add a new Discord thing, which you can't see in the chat there, but it is on Twitch, so it does work. To recap the story so far, we have I mentioned at the beginning, we were on a train. We made it to this town. We were kind of detained and questioned, but we were saved by this person named Cornelius, who owns this bar that we happen to be in right now, the tavern called the Golden Moose. He asked us to investigate his son, Davide, whose name we heard on the train. Davide is actually, we thought maybe Davide was part of the cult, but we actually found out that Davide was actually a member of the cult. He was trying to infiltrate the cult to stop the cult. We think he may be on our side. We're not actually sure though. We assume that he is, so maybe we'll see. But we investigated his apartment. That's how we found that out, and then we decided to get some provisions today. Got a couple of, some people got weapons. Someone put in a commission for a weapon. Someone got some thieves' tools. Someone got a mask. I didn't buy anything but potions, so some of us got potions, and we tried to infiltrate the barracks, the police station, to talk to one of the other prisoners in there, but we were not able to get back or talk to him. So now we have taken on this kind of little side quest where there are some kobolds in a mountain causing trouble for this town. So after this break, this little 5-minute break, we are going to go ahead and take care of those kobolds in this town. So that is where we are now. If you're watching, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Currently, when I'm recording this, it's Saturday, but whatever day you happen to be watching, I hope it's a wonderful day. And I hope you're enjoying the story so far. This is session 2. We had a session 0, but I didn't record that. And so we're doing session 2 right now. I'm just trying to get it up on my YouTube right now. So we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Feels good to be here, I think. I hope you guys are having good times. It also feels good to be playing D&D. Like, I don't get to do this a lot ever since this whole thing happened, but I'm super happy I get to stream it. I'm very happy I get to stream it and that you guys get to be here and watch. Like, I'm really, really happy to be able to do this. And then we have this kind of setup. This is actually really fun. I never thought I would stream D&D, and like, yeah, here we go. So, pretty happy actually. Pretty happy about it. Definitely. So, I hope you guys are enjoying it too, and I hope you continue to enjoy it, and I hope you continue to watch. So, we'll be right back as soon as we can to get, to get back into it, especially with some battles. Let's go. I should probably have a be right back scene, huh? I'm gonna do that. Hold on. Am I allowed to clear view this? Give me a second. copy that, and let's go back to D&D. Doing some things with Twitch right now. There we go. Make a new scene. There we go.
A recruiting sergeant came away from an inn near town at the close of day. He said, "My Johnny, you're a fine young man. Would you like to march along behind a military band with a scarlet coat and a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder? The shilling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya?" The recruiting sergeant marched away from the inn near town at the break of day. Johnny came to with half a ring. He was
Can we do till like 1:30 or so at least?
Yeah. I think we can swing that.
Because I have I'm gonna be getting lunch around 1:30 or so.
Well, the sun rose high on a barren land where the thin red line made a military stand. There was slingshot, chain shot, grape shot too, swords and bayonets thrusting through. Poor Johnny fell, but the day was won, and the king is grateful to ya. But your soldier is done, and they're sending you home. Oh, poor Johnny, what
Or, okay, no, I have like maybe 30.
They said he
Shit.
was a hero and not to grieve for the two ruined legs in the empty
She
sleep.
keeps
Took him
she's
home
coming
and
in
they
here
set
and
him
interrupting me.
down with a military pension and a medal from the crown. But you haven't an arm, you haven't a leg, the enemy nearly slew ya. You'll have to go out in the streets and beg. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? A recruiting sergeant came away from the inn near town at the close of day. He said, "My Johnny, you're a fine young man."
Yeah, it's probably close to 1:30. I mean, we also don't want to like get really far into like fighting these guys and then
Yeah, I know,
like,
I just
all
don't
right,
wanna-
well,
So just whatever, I guess.
I'm fine either way because if we're gonna be doing this every week, it doesn't need to be like super long.
Mm-hmm.
the beating of a drum. Come dress yourself all in your best and come along with me. I'll take you to the cruel wars in high Germany.
But hey, are you back?
Oh, Harry, dearest Harry, mind well what I do say.
Cool. Matt, are you back?
And I cannot march away.
No, Matt.
Besides, my
Eric, did you follow that conversation?
Yeah, I did. I was listening. I just had my mic on mute, so I was
Okay.
pulling up a map.
Classic.
I'm okay with like stopping at 1:30. It may be best to forego the major conflict, and just let y'all get to the mine, or at least start like a smaller battle.
I mean,
if you want to, because you can. I mean, you can spend as much time as you want to investigating and then taking like doing whatever you want.
yeah, I'd rather us like take the time to do it, like especially if everything's prepared. So I mean, honestly, if we have to like cut it a little bit short right now, so we don't get into anything,
Yeah, I don't want to.
and then like next week, just like start off with the battle, like
Yeah.
right.
Also, it'll be if we do it next week, it'll be much better for me because she'll be at work. So
Yeah.
I don't have to worry
It's
about that.
fine with me.
So
I already have it cleared for the foreseeable future to do Saturday mornings at 10.
There you
yeah.
go.
Plus, I think I totally agree. I don't want to like if we got like a whole thing like investigating the mines and then getting into some shit with kobolds. I'd rather like, play that all out because that sounds like a good fucking time.
Yeah, for sure. That works for me. I think we may. Yeah. I think the most prudent thing to do is to get you guys to the mine and then just stop. We'll just spend the next 30 minutes making sure you guys are prepped. Jeff, what I was asking is, do you have a secondary weapon?
Oh shit! I was just thinking about that. Yeah, that's fine. I can make use of that.
Okay. So the other thing that I was going to let you guys toy around with is that as this is the blacksmith's apprentice and you got her kind of drunk, you might be able to convince her to take you to the blacksmith's place and let you take a run at any of the weapons that are in there. If you guys were so inclined to try. As in, like, letting her say, hey, like, we need weapons. And she says, I've got weapons. And then as long as you return them afterwards. And then...
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Okay. Well, it was like, to me, like that was like the biggest thing is like, how is Jeff gonna fight? There's no way.
Yeah, it wasn't
right.
very
I forgot
forward
my
thinking
mic
of
was
me.
off.
It's all good.
Like,
I mean, that's the whole point of it. It's not like you're supposed
I
to.
mean, I got two more weapons. I got my fists, Jack Johnson, Jack O'Leary, right here. No, that's actually a pretty good idea. If she's if we've plied her with with alcohol, yeah, let's see if we can maybe get her to raid the weapon stash at least for.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever you want to prompt that question, I am down.
Good lady apprentice. I do wonder, as we've been enjoying some spirits together. Excuse me.
That's what we have.
If we're gonna if we're going to undertake this this journey to the mines, take a look around, possibly bash some kobold skull, as we are wont to do. I do find myself, and I might not be the only one, at a slight disadvantage, as my warhammer's in the shop,
Oh,
and if you've got some weapons we could potentially use temporarily, just for the night, let us do our jobs, and we'd be more than grateful.
well, I don't know if I would be, if I should. I mean, I only just met you. I don't know you like that.
I'm a common. Listen, we're both mutually benefited by this. It'll help us kill the kobolds, and we'll get out safer. And you'll have your material back. Heck, your boss might even give you a raise for being so adventurous and forethought.
I like the words you're saying there, little man. Let us finish this mead, and I shall take you to the shop, and we shall brandish our weapons of glory.
Now that sounds like a plan.
Aye!
And she asked for one more round, and that way everyone can have another drink, and you guys drink to your pending victory. And then she takes you back to the dragon scale where you were talking to Jameson about the weapons. So you can either. So what do you want to do? Do you want to grab? So Jeff, or I should say, Defo, do you want to grab your warhammer that you already have, or did you want to grab another warhammer or a mace or something like that was in the area?
I think I'll actually just grab. I don't know if she'd actually done any work on it yet, or maybe was it in progress potentially. I think I'll grab just. I'm sure there's probably some sort of warhammer that isn't the one that I handed her. I'm just kind of hanging out. Maybe I can just grab that for now.
Sure. Did you want to do any type of investigation to see if there was any better than the other ones? Or you just
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick.
okay? So go ahead and give me an investigation roll. And then George, I know you are interested in a potential mace, so if you want to do the same thing, feel free.
Yeah, just a mace.
Nice!
There you go. So as you're looking around, Defo, you see a lot of different warhammers. You actually see the warhammer that you provided, and you definitely notice that it has been changed or enhanced. So you're actually, in comparison to all the others, you actually think that if you were to just take your warhammer back, you might be pretty well off. She's actually done more than what she said she would. It looks like she got a little carried away and added some additional studs to provide that additional damage apart from just your ability to hit. So this is a full +1 warhammer. So +1 to hit, and it actually gives +1 to damage, and on a critical damage gives you +2.
Oh, okay.
I will just
Damn!
I will just look at I won't take the commissioned mace that she was talking about because it seems like not my place. But I will just take that +1 hit mace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna take the +1 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Anybody-
look for a crossbow. Do you want investigation or
No, well, yeah, you can do an investigation for crossbow. Go ahead, and that's if you're wanting to pick a specific type of crossbow. You see crossbows and go, ooh, crossbow, and you grab one. Roll a d10 for me.
nice?
Oh, you actually good. And it actually came right next to it with 9 different crossbow bolts. So be mindful, you don't have an unlimited supply.
Okay. I already have a crossbow. Is this like a better crossbow than what I have?
Yours. I mean, how much damage does your crossbow do? What, 4? Like a D4?
It's a 1d8 plus 1.
Oh, it's a D8 plus 1.
Yeah, it's a crossbow.
It's about the same. So if you wanted to just grab the crossbow bolts to have more, then that's fine.
Yeah, sure. I'll grab the bolt. Since
Okay,
it
so you
looks
grab
about
9
the same
bolts.
as mine.
That's really all you need. Yeah. And I think Jay, I don't know if you are going to use a weapon or if you can use your hands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any weapons that I can use really outside of like a short sword, but I'm probably fine just using.
What class are you? Are you a fighter or are you a monk?
I'm a monk.
He's a monk. He's a tabaxi. Not tabaxi. Is it tabaxi?
Yeah.
Yeah, tabaxi monk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big.
So he's like a giant cat with a red mask on now.
Yeah. Actual king.
Okay, so you guys are able to grab some of your weapons. Again, this is a temporary bond. The blacksmith makes sure that she makes you aware and tells you that if you die or if you lose them, that she's gonna come after you after she takes her weapon from her master. So she really hoping that you guys don't screw her over.
It's fine. Well, considering that we have to stay in her stable, it's probably hard to do that at the end of this.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are able to get some good supplies. Sure. Okay. So afterwards, she's able to supply you guys, and then she's able to take you out of the town through the gates and then around. So I'm going to show you. So she takes you out through the front gate, through this front gate here, and then walks you around some of the trails, and starts, telling you about where she came from. That she's ready to become a master blacksmith, but her master isn't letting her really do more than probably what she's capable of doing. So she feels like she's being held back. She kind of goes into a little life story, a little bit kind of like a drunken ramble of everything that's been going on, and just really hopes that by doing this and bringing back some of her lost goods, that her master will start to kind of give her a little bit more responsibility. So she's really banking on you guys doing this well. And then after about an hour or so, and it's getting close to midnight, you guys are walking with your torches, and she brings you up to the first mine that's been set up. She tells you that this is one of the first mines that the town ever made. They closed it down after a collapse killed several of the dwarves that were working in it. And she tells you that a few months after this collapse, they opened the second mine, and she walks you further past to there, and shows you this opening, and she says this is where all the trouble started. She said there should have been an omen after that mine collapse that the second mine would have not wanted to produce. She says that they dug relatively deep into it to no avail, but then shortly after they closed the mine, since it was no longer being upkept, there was a collapse in one of the inner tunnels that pretty much told everybody to not go in, and everyone stayed away. And then that's when the kobolds came in and started to roost inside of it. And she gives you she tries to talk. She tells you a little bit about the layout of the mine. She tells you that the inner portion of the mine is pretty straightforward. It's a straight shot with a couple of offshoots. As to where everything is, she says she doesn't know. She's never ventured inside. However, she tells you about the first few chambers, since it was one of her father's mines that he worked in. And then she just remembers the stories that he told of the first kind of inner mines portion. But there is a secondary chamber that you may have to go into if you're going to venture further into the mine. But she reminds you again that after the collapsed tunnel, she has no idea what the conditions of the tunnels are going to be like. So you guys can start exploring this first outer chamber before you get into the inner chamber, if y'all want, or we can call it a go for now.
Are we trying to stop the game right now, or?
Yeah.
We were looking at trying to pause it because Jeff kind of needs to head out in just a bit.
And Jay,
Okay.
I think, also said like he would only have like another 30 minutes. So
Yeah, and since we're gonna, as long as everybody remembers to actually show the fuck,
Yes, I've
we
already
will
set my
have.
calendar under an alarm. Yeah.
Okay.
fine.
Then we shouldn't have any issues.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
prefer to
definitely.
wait till next time. So
Right,
that way
right.
we-
Just
All right. No,
the
yeah.
whole,
The
whole
table
next
is
time,
set.
The whole, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was really cool hearing everybody talk all at once.
We're gonna
We can do it
pause.
again if
We're
you
going
want
to
to.
pause.
Yeah,
You know, next time, yeah.
All right, so we'll pick up next time.
Cool.
Bruh.
I'm gonna
Cool.
assume
Cool.
that we don't actually level up this time, or do we?
We'd probably level up after this.
Yeah, after this Cobalt encounter.
Except for me, I've already leveled.
Except for Jay. Jay's at now level 12.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie. In one of my other D&D campaigns, we came across some fruit, and the fruit had like 1 out of 100 things that could happen to you, and so the DM would roll, and one of our dudes rolled, and we were all at like level 10, and he jumped to level like 16 for eating one of these fruits, and then again later in the campaign, maybe we were at level 12 at this point, and through random happenstance, he ended up gaining another 4 levels and is now at level 20 with all of us. He's a wizard, a level 20 wizard, with all of us at like level 12.
That
Why is he
sounds
hanging
like-
out with you punks?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
he's
Fucking
he's,
Gandalf hanging out with the hobbits, like, yeah.
completely overpowered at the moment, but randomly, not because just because the DM rolled for him. It was crazy.
My man ascended to Gandalf the White.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
like
Sounds
insane. So, anyways, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with chilling, and we can pick up next week, same time, same place, Saturday. Is that right?
Yep,
Saturday, 10
no
o'clock?
changes.
It will be way better for me next
Yeah.
week.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and at least end my stream now that we have that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Pick up tomorrow if you're watching the stream. Pick up not tomorrow, but next week at 10 o'clock, 10:30, I guess, in the morning. It's been probably start streaming about then, and we will go and explore these mines and fight these kobolds. If you want to catch more of me on my own, I am streaming Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I will be streaming tomorrow evening around 7 or 8ish Sunday. Catch me then. Join my Discord. You can use this Discord link. I do have that one, so join that if you wish. And in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. Catch you later for the next stream. I'm out. Peace.